welcome to the Boss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. This is a market recap video for the growth stock list that I follow this week for the week ending November 14, 2025. This week we started out the week pretty strong from a rebound on last Friday, but as the week goes on, we saw more distribution days come in Wednesday and Thursday. And so by Thursday, we have 4 on NASDAQ, 6 on S&P 500. IBD also lowered its allocation from 60 to 80% to 40 to 6%, which is kind of signify market is under pressure right now. We are just hanging off at the 50-day moving average. We bounced off it on Friday, so that's a welcome sign. But this is the second time it happened within a week, and we have more distribution days piled up. If you haven't watched the market video, please go watch that. In this video, we're going to talk about mostly just the growth stocks list I follow. Here we see that we're seeing distribution on Thursday and Friday more than accumulation. And same thing with industry groups here. On the sector side, technology has not done well. Retail as well. Industrial also weakened. And health and commodities are net accumulation, meaning there's more accumulation than distribution. So this is the number of stocks under accumulation minus distribution here. So we are net positive for health and commodity energy related, and financial is negative as well. Looking at stocks on the move, my previous lists that are dated since July, around July, with about 414 stocks. We see that 306 of them are in downtrend, so only 19% are in uptrend. And then right now we mainly focus on stocks that have reported earnings, and so that's this list here. And out of that, we follow 348 growth stocks right now that have forecast earnings of mostly positive, around 10% or more in the next 4 quarters. And based on that, only 26% are in uptrend, and many are in downtrend right now. So again, the number has decreased significantly. You can see from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday it dropped quite a bit. Spreadsheet here, it shows all the stocks that I'm currently for that has reported earnings. This is since October 10th, the time frame. So since October 10th, we have that's more than a month ago, slightly, and that's all these stocks here that have reported earnings. And here's the price performance since that time, so like I said, a month ago. And you can see whether they're uptrend or downtrend. You can see whether they're recently make new high based on this time frame. So when they're highlighted, that means November 14th, which is Friday, that's the day it actually make new high as well. So we want to pay more attention to those ones because they're leading the uptrend right now. Here we can see the industry group and sector that it belongs to. So we'll go through most of this list today based on ranking instead of by group, because it just gives us a better picture of what's leading at the top today. Okay, so first on the list here is SanDisk, up 100%, over 117% since October 10th. It is in an uptrend, and it didn't make a new high since November 12th. This is in the data storage group. So we come to SanDisk here. This is data storage group right here, and we can see it has a huge run. The data storage group is one of the strongest leading group in this, like probably rally since April. And you can see that from here, like this one start running around a little bit later than other stocks, closer to September. And the last 2 months or more, it's been running really fast. And we draw this upper channel line here, and we did surpass that. So we see a little bit of a climax run here, making a new high recently. That was Wednesday here. Thursday we took a big drop on high volume, so that is not a good. That is a sell signal based on IBD. Potential sell rules. But Friday it bounced back halfway. So but overall we draw a channel line across the top. Even though there's only 3 points on the chart, we can see the slope of this downtrend line is quite severe right now. So if we were to continue to come down, that's the slope it could be coming down at. So something to be aware of, even though right now we are above the 10-day, the green line. So that still make it look good on the chart. So and then the uptrend line, the 10-day, if you draw the bottom channel line, it looks something like this. So it is kind of stuck in this zone right now. So it could continue this uptrend if it break above this line, or it can go down and then continue this downtrend. We'll quickly look at other stocks in this group that has done well until recently. So here's Seagate. So this one look a lot worse. It is now down to 21 day. MU, this one will be reporting December 17th, so it's still more than a month away. But this one bounced back pretty strong as well on Friday. Actually, went up 4%, which is pretty good for a Friday. Because a lot of stocks are down in the morning, but this one barely went down. It didn't even make a new low, and it bounced back. So this stock has been tremendous strength here, and we still haven't really seen cross above the upper channel line here. So that gives it more room to even run as well. Another stock in this group is WDC Western Digital. This one has also come down to below the 10-day but close near that line. AVDL ranked number 2, making new high. This is a biotech getting, I think it was getting offers to buy out or something. But just want to talk about biotech in general. We're seeing a lot of biotech groups and even health group related, in the top 30, 40 here. So that group remains still strong. So here's a first offer here that it got, right? Jump a lot. And then yesterday, I think it got another offer. I'm not sure if it's from the same company or not, but it jumped a lot more. So Merck's in on buyout bonanza with 9.2 billion Cidara therapeutic deal. So this was another news that was related, but not directly related to Avadel. This was another buyout, and that so here Avadel surges 20% on Lundbeck surprise outcome as topping bid. So that is very news driven. But let's look at some biotech stock here. Iowa. This is Iovance Therapeutics. It did jump back a little bit here. It's pulling back slightly. This is a very small price stock, so any small movement it can be significant percentage. It's been hovering around the 50-day line for a long time. It broke out recently, and right now it just pulled back somewhat from the top here, and but it's finding support on Friday, coming in on higher volume on that bounce, and before that it was pulling back on lower volume, so that's a good sign. We have Arcturus Therapeutics ARQT. This one has been pulling back after initial gap up on earnings. Now it's bouncing again on higher volume, so that's a really good sign on the volume bounce here. Next we have Sandoz Pharmaceutical SNDX. And this one has a nice double base bottom here. Then we bounce out of it, and then we pull back to the 10-day right there. But the slope of the 10-day still looks really good. And right now it's just holding very tight near. It didn't give up too much on Friday, but it did close at the bottom of the range. So we'll see if it finds support here. Because right now we're coming close to the 10-day, this slope right here. We also have a couple of big guys at the top here, CAH and LLY. So this is Cardinal Health. This one came out on earnings really strong. As it goes after that gap up, it kind of went sideways and then it started to bounce again. And then here we have the most recent, very tiny pullback. Look at the 2 days here that it just doesn't want to go down. Even though both days are down, but it went down very slightly. Then we have a bounce here, and then on Friday it kind of hit a new high before pulling back a little bit. Very strong stock. Lilly, this one catching a lot of attention at this moment because this one came out very strong. Look at this slope right here. It's just remarkable. Like every dip was a buying opportunity so far, and it's getting a little bit extended from the short term and long term moving average. You look at how far it is now from the 50-day. But this was a significant breakout. So we'll see if there's going to be any pullback soon that might provide some new opportunity to get in here. But the volume is very large. That's exactly what you want to see on a breakout after a really long base. This is a really long base. It comes straight up from the bottom at a very strong speed here. Interesting enough, we have a few oil and gas related stocks here. We have YPF, LB, and BKV here. So this is oil and gas integrated from Argentina. Very long base as well. Came out probably on earnings here very strong, and since then it's been making new high, so that looks really sharp. Going to the daily chart here, you can see this big move, and then it didn't really pull back much and bounce right away, and then it make a small run here, and then it pulls back to near the 10-day and then bounce again, and then again recently it pulled back close to the 10-day, not quite, and then it bounced again on Friday. This is land bridge here, LB symbol. This one also came up very strong. Earnings did put a little dampened into this pullback here, but on Friday it was able to bounce back near the 10-day, and here's the current slope right now of the 10-day. So we'll see if this support will continue to hold and bounce here. Here's BKV. This is a newer name, and this one also break out on a really long base. Let's go to a weekly chart first. Here it is. This is a more recent IPO back in 24. Here's this, pretty ugly chart here on terms of the base. It's very choppy. So this one is definitely more volatile because it's in the $20 range. And so, but recently we see this, this last 2 weeks, the volume just ballooned up, right? So that is a welcoming sign. It's one of the highest volumes since the beginning, and this breakout looks, pretty good so far. It was able to hold on the breakout, and then now we are continue to make higher. Notice it never want to come touch the 10-day. It came close to it, but not quite touching it. So that's another strong technical strength. And then here we're just seeing some of the stocks in downtrend right now. Lumentum Light, ATEC, and medical products. We talked about WDC earlier, WIST, BIST, FLS, W, Wayfair, Form, XMTR, TR, SAM, and Cohere. So, not all are doing well, even in the top 25. So that just shows you again, the market is under loss of distribution at the moment. So a lot of stocks are getting hit. So that's the kind of environment we're in. And even if you find the right stock, it could be very choppy, so won't be easy to hold, especially if you have really tight stops. So those are things to consider in this market environment right now. And as we talk about in the big market picture, there's going to be more macro news coming out now that the government shut down. So we're going to see more economic data, jobs report coming out on Thursday, Fed meeting minutes on Wednesday. All these things could impact how this market will be moving forward. There's only around 6% chance of a rate cut in December right now. That could change at any moment now with new data coming out. So things, um, market doesn't like uncertainty. So that's probably why the market has been so jittery. And of course, more importantly, we talk about the growth stocks. In a way, the IBD50 ETF in the main market video. If you haven't watched it, please watch that. What we said was that how the chart has looked really, really bad this last 2 weeks, and growth stocks have taken a big beating, especially names that were more well known. And only until recently we starting to see momentum and some of this, data storage stocks like WDC starting to come down, and there's many, many more growth stocks that are coming down right now, and right here we're seeing, different names that are moving up, right? Than previously. So that's the difference here. So I tend to focus on momentum, and so these are the stocks that I'm watching. And I'm not taking too much risk right now because, like I say, there's a lot of choppiness. Even if I get into the stocks, might not be easy to hold. But if the market do to turn around, I know that these are the stocks that are currently leading. And yes, maybe the AI area will come back up, all those names, related names, but I don't know that, right? So for now, this is the list that I'm focusing on, and if that change, then those names will come back up on this list, and they will become uptrend and so forth. Next, we have retail internet here, real. There's not many consumer related stocks. I see Expedia here. Like I said, even Wayfair has come down. Let's take a quick look at those. This is an online marketplace to buy luxury good called Real. This is a smaller price stock, so can be more volatile. Overall, it's been an uptrend until recently. Pull back, jump on the earnings, but has very quickly pulled back now. And we're still above the 10-day. Basically, it's closing the gap between that and the 10-day. So we'll see what happens if we find support anytime soon. but the gain was significant enough that it's still in the top 10 recently despite this pullback. So that just shows that it could have momentum still. Wayfair also in online, this is in the furnishing space on website. This one also has recently come up, but it has kind of pulled back recently, and this is probably more severe because it broke the 10-day, and so that's not the best thing that happened. Right now we at the 21, near the 21 day. We'll see if we find support and bounce off here. Expedia, this one has been really strong. Gap out on earnings, didn't really give back much until the last 2 days. Look at Friday, we found support there. Question is, can we continue with follow through on this bounce, or are we going to come back closer to the 10-day? So that's the next question. We don't see many chip related area like semiconductor left on this list, at least at the top. Most of them are probably correcting. Let me go down here. Yeah, so it goes down quite far, I think. Anyhow, so here we have TSEM and MTSI down here. Both are still in an uptrend or near uptrend. So let's take a quick look. This is called Tower Semiconductor, also a recent newer name that came on my list. This has a tremendous run that I totally missed because I wasn't aware of this stuff. And here's this big bounce on earnings. Really, this definitely is a climax run right here. In 3 days, it jumped up a lot. Then we pull back now to the 10-day and we bounce on the 10-day. So does it have more room? Possible, right? There's nothing that say it can run higher, but yeah, just beware that we are in a very steep pullback right now. Whether it can bounce out of this, we won't know until it happens. But I do like newer names, so at least it's a newer name to me. So maybe some of you know about it. This is another one, Macom Tech Solutions. This one is bouncing up pretty strong on the earnings here as well. Gap up, went up for a few days, and then now we pull back. Now Friday's move went down further, like in the 10-day, and then but it did close near the 10-day. So we'll see. Again, we have this really steep trend line. Can we pass back above it and continue to bounce from there? So that's something we'll have to wait and see. So going down the list here, we have KEX in the transportation ship. We have Pay in the credit card payment area. Again, most of this we talk about, but there's more. Biotech in MDGL. CLS is in downtrend. Resell, PHC, Penn, all these biotech health stocks. We have ATI in the specialty alloy. TTMI, SCVA in downtrend still. Datadog doing okay. So that's software enterprise. We see Datadog and KVYO down here, both in that area. Let's take a quick look. And here's Datadog bounce on earnings, pretty strong. Went on a couple more days after that, and then now it has recently pulled back. Again, we're at the 10-day right now, and we're hoping to see this bounce here. Here is Klaviyo, KYVO. This chart doesn't look as good. It is still under a long-term downtrend line here, which is the 200-day moving average. Recently, it formed this nice round base, and here we bounce on the earnings, and we have recently pulled back pretty tight fashion. So it looking okay. It bounced back about the 10-day on Friday. So again, we want to see if this momentum can carry on and eventually break through this 200-day moving average. So here we're starting to see mining gold related stocks coming back up. HL, we have Barrick here, we have AUGO. Here's HL. Again, we had this huge recent pullback here to the 50-day line. Then we bounce really strong, really fast. Look at this. It come to new high. And then now we have another couple of days pullback from Thursday and Friday. And look at Friday, we found support near the 10-21 day. So we'll see if this can bounce and go to new high once more. Here's Barrick Mining, very similar action. We pull back, we bounce, and this one looks better because it was only Friday that we had pulled back stronger to the 10-day, found support there. And then look at how fast it bounced back to the near the top here. So this one, I did get a little bit of share on Friday. Look at the volume here as well. Looks really nice. The selling volume is almost not there compared to the higher volume on the buying side. Aura Minerals, this one coming down as well, bouncing back. This one hasn't bounced back as strong, but it is trading really tight, so that also makes it maybe a better stock to hold. But Friday's action lacked a little bit compared to the other two, but it's not bad. It still bounced back though. It just didn't move as much. We have STX, AEIS in downtrend here. And then coming down here, we have a couple of leisure related stocks here. We have CNK, PLNT, MLCO. Here's Cinemark Holdings, recently corrected and starting to bounce. Looks really strong. Like I mean, the uptrend line along the 10-day found support twice now at the 10-day and bounced on Friday as well. So that looks good support at those levels. Planet Fitness, wow, this base looks also pretty good. It kind of came back above this on earnings here. And then the 10-day slope is really strong right now. Although Thursday it reversed, Friday it didn't really bounce back. So that's the one problem here. We'll see if next week it will be able to bounce here. But that's going to be critical there. Then we have this resort. This is might be a Chinese stock because it says Macau here. I'm not sure if it's owning if it's a US company or Chinese stock here. But MLC or Melco Resorts. This is a Hong Kong company. So yeah, so it's not a US company. This is a really nice base. I like the bottom here where it, form higher lows, found support here. Then we start to move and again we come up above the red line, the 50-day, and we're able to find support at that level. So it looks really healthy. It is a small price stock, so it could have some volatility in terms of daily price movement. So I missed a couple here. We have AU in the gold silver area. We have NVGS, oil and gas transport pipeline. We also have EXE down here. And we also have a couple of software financial stocks here, C1 and Q2 doing well. Again, here, I'm not going to go through all this, but there's more downtrend stocks as we continue to go lower. We talk about Google, but Google came up on Friday after hours because Warren Buffett disclosed a stake in it, so that make a big move. Down here we see ESPR, Biotech, we see GKOS, PAS in the silver area doing well. We have Bowl in the insurance diversify, Core in the medical wholesale drug supply, XPEL in the auto truck area. Now we're into the ranking 70s here, TPL, Oil Royalty Trust, DOV, Machinery General Industrial, UTHR, Medical Biotech, AMG in the financial investment management, MBBK North Banks Northeast, we have SAN, Banks Money Center, Ryan Insurance Broker. We also have H again in the leisure lodging area. We have SGI in the house office furniture. Apple we talked about in the main market video. Another gold stock, Nemo Mining here. FICO Software Financial, LUV Transportation Airline, cars in the automobile area. So yeah, feel free to go through this list. But again, this is the list that have reported earnings. And we're not seeing many tech stocks in the top, right? So that's one big sign. We are seeing some retail stocks bouncing though, like it's starting to come back up. So that's an interesting sign as well. We're seeing lots of health, industrials. Again, we don't see many industrials here. Most of them are in correction mode. That's a problem there. And we're seeing some precious metals bouncing, and financials. We also seeing not too many at the top, but we're seeing some also just a little bit bouncing here. So yeah, overall the market conditions just not great, and it's very hard to do well when close to 80% of the growth stocks are in downtrend, right? So anyhow, this is the list, but feel free to go through at your own time. And as we go down this list again, we're starting to see a lot of downtrend here, and just a tremendous amount. As we go down here, we're going to see more in downtrend, but there's always some stocks that are, bouncing. And as we go down here again, many downtrend stocks. And I mean, we see Duolingo here, MCHP, KTOS, WW. Those are the ones that have dropped quite a bit. But I usually like to pay attention to the ones that make new highs because they tend to continue to make new highs. And remarkable that they can make new highs in the current environment. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.